Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. We all know that in the NFL, there's no such thing as a true offseason anymore, especially for teams like the Washington Commanders. The days when the season ended and everyone just took a break, those are gone. Instead, the NFL is a 12-month operation, a constant cycle of rumors, trades, draft prep, and strategic moves. And for the Commanders, this offseason has been particularly intriguing. We've seen heavy focus on the draft, where the organization aimed to target players who can make an immediate impact. And right now, the buzz is centered around some key names, some potential game changers that could shift the team's fortunes in a big way. Let's start with the draft, because that's always where the rebuild or the push for success begins. The Commanders, during their draft weekend, set their sights on players who can fill specific needs or who possess the talent to elevate the team's overall performance. Among those targets was offensive tackle Josh Kennerly Jr., a player with the size, athleticism, and versatility to be a cornerstone on the offensive line. Why is this so crucial? Well, the offensive line has been a point of concern for Washington in recent seasons, especially considering how much they rely on their quarterback and running game. Protecting the QB and creating lanes for the running backs is fundamental to their offensive identity, and Kennerly, with his potential, could be a huge piece in that puzzle. But the draft isn't the only thing fueling the buzz. There's also a lot of talk about potential trades, especially involving players that could be moved to bolster Washington's roster. Now, this isn't just idle speculation. Some of these rumors are gaining traction and are being discussed seriously within NFL circles. One of the most talked about names recently has been James Cook, the talented running back from the Buffalo Bills. Now, Cook has been a solid contributor for the Bills, but with the Bills looking to rebuild or retool their backfield, there's speculation that he might be available for the right price. And that's where Washington comes into the picture. Imagine Cook joining the Commanders' offense, which already had a pretty impressive scoring output last season, finishing as the 5th best scoring team in the league. That's with a core of Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, and the addition of Deebo Samuel, who was acquired in a blockbuster trade last year. Samuel's presence adds a dynamism to the outside that defenses have to respect, and Noah Brown has shown flashes of being a reliable target. But the real kicker here is the potential addition of James Cook. If he comes into this offense, the possibilities multiply exponentially. You see, Washington has a lot of pieces in place, but what could make them truly dangerous is a versatile, explosive back like Cook. Considering the style of offense they're trying to build, one that emphasizes speed, agility, and scoring ability, Cook could be the perfect fit. Especially when you think about their quarterback, Jayden Daniels, who had an outstanding season last year and is poised to take another step forward. Daniels has shown flashes of brilliance in his first season as a starter, and with the right weapons around him, he could be on the verge of a breakout campaign. Adding Cook would not only give Washington a reliable option to complement their passing game, but also help them become one of the league's most potent rushing teams. We saw last season that their offense was already pretty high-powered, but imagine if they had a back who could truly carry the load, especially in goal line situations and third down. That's the kind of weapon that could elevate their offensive production to another level, perhaps even making them a top 5 scoring team again. And that's crucial because, in today's NFL, scoring points is king. Now, let's talk a little about the potential trade logistics, which is always a fascinating part of NFL offseason drama. The Bills, as we mentioned, might be open to trading Cook, especially if they're looking to free up cap space or shift their focus to other areas. But what would Washington need to give up? It's a fair question. The Bills are known for valuing their players highly, especially a versatile back like Cook, who has shown he can be a league leader in rushing touchdowns. So Washington might need to part ways with a draft pick or perhaps even a player to make this deal happen. Could it be a second-round pick? Maybe a player on the roster who fits their immediate needs. These are the questions NFL insiders are debating right now. And speaking of the roster, one consideration is that Washington currently has only rookie running back Jackery Krosky under contract for 2026. That means they're in a bit of a bind if they want to bring in Cook and lock him into a long-term deal. Extending Cook would be a strategic move. They'd want to make sure they're not crowding the backfield or trading away too much to get him, but the upside is undeniable. A backfield with Cook, paired with the emerging talent of Brian Robinson and the potential of rookie backs, could give the Commanders a dynamic, multifaceted rushing attack. Now, some fans might be wondering, is this really feasible? And that's a valid question. The NFL is a business, and teams weigh their options carefully. Washington has needs across the entire roster, defensive upgrades, offensive line depth, and perhaps even more weapons for their quarterback. But if they see Cook as the missing piece to unlock that next level of scoring and explosiveness, then I wouldn't be surprised if they go all in. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. This offseason is about building a team that can contend not just for a playoff spot, but for a deep run in the postseason. With the NFC East being as competitive as ever, every move counts. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are all making their moves, and Washington needs to respond in kind. Acquiring a player like Cook would send a message: we're here to compete, and we're not backing down. Now, aside from the trade rumors, there's plenty of excitement around the team's development. The coaching staff, led by head coach Ron Rivera, is emphasizing growth and cohesion. The recent minicamp in Ashburn, for example, was crucial for evaluating how the team is coming together. It's a time for the players to showcase their improvements, and for the staff to identify areas where they need to focus. The mandatory minicamp was also a chance for some players who might have been dealing with injuries or setbacks to get back on the field and prove they're ready for the upcoming season. One of the interesting stories from minicamp was the viral clips of Deebo Samuel working out post-practice. Fans are buzzing about his energy and commitment, and his chemistry with McLaurin is already looking promising. The addition of Samuel last year was supposed to be a game-changer, and it's clear the team is banking on him to be a key part of their offensive puzzle. His versatility, ability to line up both outside and in the slot, and his explosiveness make him a matchup nightmare for defenses. Meanwhile, the defense is also shaping up nicely. The team has been focusing on strengthening their secondary and pass rush, with new draft picks and some veteran additions. The NFL is a passing league, so having a secondary that can lock down receivers is crucial. The recent draft picks, especially in the defensive backfield, indicate that the team is serious about improving their pass coverage and creating more turnovers. The coaching staff is also emphasizing discipline and communication, which are essential for a secondary looking to make an impact. But looking even broader, the Commanders' overall strategy seems to be about finding that perfect balance, investing in young talent, making smart trades, and building a team that can perform consistently at a high level. The NFL season is a marathon, not a sprint, and every move they make during this offseason is about setting the foundation for a successful campaign. The team's management has shown they're willing to be aggressive when it comes to acquiring talent, even if it means making bold trades or high draft picks. Now, for the fans, what does all this mean? Well, it's an exciting time. The roster is starting to take shape, and the potential for a breakout season is real. The NFC East remains one of the most competitive divisions in football, with the Eagles reigning as reigning champions, the Cowboys always lurking as contenders, and the Giants showing signs of improvement. But Washington has the talent and the drive to shake things up. If they can make some savvy moves, like bringing in a player like James Cook, they could position themselves as serious playoff contenders. And speaking of the team's history, the Washington Commanders have always been a franchise with a rich tradition, filled with legendary players and unforgettable moments. From the days of Sonny Jurgensen and John Riggins to recent stars like Alex Smith and Terry McLaurin, the team has a legacy of resilience and grit. The current roster and coaching staff are eager to add to that legacy, aiming for another Super Bowl appearance. The excitement around the team is palpable, and fans are eager to see how the offseason unfolds and what surprises might be in store. So, as we look ahead to the upcoming season, all eyes are on Washington. Will they pull the trigger on a trade for James Cook? Will the draft picks develop into immediate starters? How will the team gel during training camp and preseason? These questions are what make this offseason so thrilling for fans. Every move, every signing, every rumor adds another layer to the story of this team trying to reclaim its place at the top of the NFC. And let's not forget, the NFC East is a division where anything can happen. The Eagles are defending champs, but they're not invincible. The Cowboys have one of the best defenses in the league, and the Giants are on the rise with a new coaching staff and promising young players. For Washington, the key will be consistency, health, and smart strategic moves, like potentially acquiring Cook or drafting a lineman who can anchor the line for years to come. The upcoming season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and the Commanders are right in the middle of it all. The fan base is energized, the front office is active, and the players are eager to prove themselves. It's a perfect storm of anticipation, and I know that many of you are just as eager as I am to see how it all unfolds. The NFL's landscape is constantly shifting, but one thing is certain: Washington is not going quietly into the night. They're here to compete, to fight, and to make a statement. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors? Do you think James Cook would be the right fit? Are you excited about the draft picks? How do you see the team shaping up for the season ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more inside info, and all the latest Washington Commanders news. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this incredible fan journey going. Thanks for being part of this community, and as always, hail to the Commanders.